Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Purnam comes from Purnam, and Purnam is taken away from Purnam. Purnam alone remains. What a beautiful statement. This statement is written in many temples. I remember having heard of it being written in the Ramakrishna mission. Swami Brahmananda had written it in Bhubaneswar, which was his origination. This means that you are Purnam, you are from Purnam, and that Purnam, when you are born, you remain Purnam. Now, you and I say me, Purnam, meaning you're complete. But you notice how we have so much of suffering, and human beings are suffering. Why are we suffering? Who are we really? We are not this body, though we use the body as our application. We are not this mind, though we use the mind. In the mind, we have manas, which is feelings, etc. We have memory, chitta. We have intelligence, buddhi, and we have ego. All these four are us. And we got something else, which is called the Sukshma Sharira is the manas, Sthula Sharira is the body, and Karana Sharira is the highest of that, in which when you think about being Purnam, then you realize that you are not this body, not the name, not the form. The moment you put them, then you and I become limited. Now, this question will often come to your mind. What is the purpose of my being in this earth? Why am I here? Look at it. Insects, worms, the small bushes, the huge trees, the oak wood tree, they all are absolutely with their fullest effort to express themselves to their completeness. Human beings like you and I are also born for the same expression of completeness. A beautiful poem comes to my mind. A rose bush and an oak tree grew up together, laughing and singing and thinks of birds and nature. While the rose bush sweetly bloomed, the oak wood tree continued to grow, taller and taller. And now it was so tall that it could see the birds and the eagles in the sky and the clouds, and it could see the snow peaks, mountain, and far-off lands. And it talked about it to the rose bush which stayed and sweetly bloomed. Hearing Rosebush say, "Now you have forgotten about me, and you are only with the cloud and the birds and the mountain peaks." The oak wood tree said, "It is not how tall I have grown. It is how small you have chosen to stay." Now, apply this in yours and my life. Why are we suffering from, most of the time, negativity in our mind? You know, American Psychological Analysis Association, APA, are very famous in Manhattan. The American Psychological Association and American Philosophical Association, both are APA and both are side by side. The American Psychological Association found out that people who do sit down still, call it meditation, call it mindfulness, awareness, call it being still, they are more resilient in nature to have any mental suffering. Why are we suffering from negativity? Feeling left out. Nobody loves me. What will happen to me when I grow old? But whoever is telling you and me that nobody loves us, the fact that we are born, there is a very special reason to express ourselves. Whatever is happening in our life today, we need to know that Karana Sharira is that consciousness, is the awareness. You and I are utilizing it all the time, but not really tapping into that consciousness. Call it energy. So anything that happens to our life and has happened over time and with energy. Now time is, if you look carefully, is rolling away. If you sleep, it rolls away. If you do things, it rolls away. If you don't do things, it rolls away. If you are happy, it rolls away. If you're sad, it is rolling away. If you're positive, it is going away. If you're negative, it is going away. Time is not constant, it's rolling away. So you need time and energy, but energy is with you. Energy, consciousness is infinite abundance. It cannot be created, it cannot be destroyed, neither it has an origination time. It is always there. Why aren't we utilizing that? Because we have forgotten how to connect it. This is the purpose of our life. Each one of us have a reason. You have New Year's coming up. You have the Christmas Day coming up. What did Jesus Christ say? Knock and the door shall open for you. Meaning knock, meaning be aware. Be aware and ask, and thou shalt be given. Jesus Christ is saying, kingdom of heaven is within you. This heaven, why wait for it? Make it right here. So what is the purpose of our life? Every person who has come in here than my life, you and I are supposed to not use them as crutch and say, without you I cannot live. Supposing you and I live with a crutch, I can't walk without a crutch. Supposing. Can you imagine how disabled you feel? With the divine grace of the Babaji, Divine Mother, Krishna, God, Allah, Christ, we are not so. Now look at it. When you say, without this gadget, without this house, without that car, without so much of money, without this partner, this best woman in the world, the best man in the world, my dream relationship, I cannot live. What are we doing? What's the difference between that crutch and this crutch? There is no difference. So, nature has given us two lines, and every inanimate and animate object, including plant life, animal life. You remember the definition of insect? Insect is that which is a living being. And let's say an ant. I still remember, ant is a small animal with 6 legs. Did you know that? That it has got only 6 legs. So that is the definition. And now, these animals also have a distinct purpose. You and I are limited between that operation of the mind, which is what I'm talking about, becoming Purnam, is going beyond the time, going beyond the mind. How? Being still, being silent. If there is any negativity, think of just the opposite. It's difficult at that time, but be still and look at yourself. I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, I'm not the name, I'm not a form, I'm not a gender, man or a woman. I am the divine light of the consciousness. That light is you and I. Have you reflected I've shared with you before, that light falls on dirty something on the road. It does not get dirty. You are like that. You are Purnam. That light falls on, let's say, pitcher of wine or beer or whiskey. Light does not get drunk. The light falls on holy river, Ganga. It doesn't become holy. It's always detached. You are like that. And that you is that consciousness. This is the science and the approach of consciousness. Look, reflect carefully. Ashtavakra. This is not one of the Vedanta, but it is the supreme of the messages which even Paramahansa Ramakrishna gave it only to Vivekananda to read it. And you know what? Vivekananda didn't want to read it. Paramahansa Ramakrishna told him, at least read it for me. He used to read it reluctantly. And he got taken so much that all his future talk in America based almost huge number of percentage on Ashtavakra. I'll read out one. Natvam deha nate deha. Karta bhokta nava bhavan. Na your body, na you are, now the body belongs to you. Neither are you the body, nor the body belongs to you. You are not the doer, karta, not the bhokta, nor are you the enjoyer. You are because of a special reason. Chitruposi, sada sakshi. You are that consciousness, always a witness to everything around us. Nirupeksha sukham chara. You are the consciousness like the light. Nirupeksha. Be detached and be happily move around. There, where is the sadness? Sadness comes because of the mind. Have you noticed our mind is endowed with memory? I just share with you. And what are we? We are still thinking about what happened, what 10 years ago, 5 years ago, what the neighbor said to me, or what my friend, my husband, my wife had said to me. Just think. Reminds me of a story. A man with his wife was living in the village, and son had gone away far off land and was earning a lot of money from foreign country and sending money to father and mother. Father and mother was living very happily and with great, naturally, wealth because son is sending the money. And the neighbors were jealous of these two, middle-aged, oldish. So one of the guy came one day, just wanted to spoil their happiness, and said, your son is dead. Just imagine, the mind of the father and the mother went tuft. Mind you, son is not dead. Son is actually there. But they don't know that. And that man, just to make him feel sorry, just for his selfish little bit of satisfaction and pleasure, he said it like that. And the whole world came shattering down, howling, crying. And what misery they had till the time they came to know from, must be after a month or so, that the son is very much alive. Another man who's living, son is living abroad, sending money, son is actually dead, but the father and mother don't know anything. They're pretty happy. You notice this happiness or sadness is just a function of the mind, which you and I don't know how to handle. When you get connected to that Purnamada, Purnamidam, you are in that beyond the mind status, beyond the body status. You still continue to use the body and the mind. This is Vedanta's message. Aham Brahmasmi, main hi Brahma hu. Chidruposi sada sakshi. Nirupeksha sukham chara. You and I get connected to it. The purpose of religion, ancient India, American Psychological Association, APA, they're all talking about get connected to who we are or who we think we are, or discover yourself. Let it be your New Year resolution. Let it be that I am going to do it. Some of us will. Some of us will stick to it. Stick to it. Pick it up and take up the journey. While continuing to do that, think this entire universe in which this little earth and in which this little Pune, in which a little you and I, and we think we are great. How puny, how tiny we are. And now when you get connected to the consciousness, you will suddenly realize this whole world and you are not separate. Your body and mind and the name and the form and the gender is separate, yes. But you are the consciousness. Chitruposhi sada sakshi. Is aham brahmasmi tat tvam asi. Remember the Mahavakya? You are that. When you get connected to that, you're always peaceful and happy. Even the worst of the miseries when it comes, you look at it with a detachment, knowing it is not me. That's my mind which is doing it. I'm not my mind. And you now become more effective a wife, a husband, a son and a daughter, or a professional, or a student, a boy or a girl. And you do now with perfect focus, concentration. This energy is infinite, cannot be destroyed, cannot be created. It is always there. And there is no end to it. This is that. Otherwise, we are living like a crutch with thinking I'm limited. Let's get on with it. Think. Huge ocean, thousands of waves. One way you know that the statement of waves have water in it. You say yes. Vedanta says no. This glass has water in it. I can separate the water, separate the glass. Can I separate the water from the wave? No. So what is Vedanta saying? Imagine it is the water which is chosen to act as the ocean, as the wave, as a little sprinkle, as the little moisture from there. It's the water. It is the consciousness has chosen the purpose of yours and my life and given us complete faculties. And all we need to do is utilize that faculty, unleash the human potential with a purpose. For what? Not selfish pleasure. You can do that. It will automatically happen, provided if you do that, it will be limited for a short while. But if you do it for the welfare of others, then your next is human imagination. Mind only you are using it, but choose any object in your dream, in your vision. Dream big. Lawrence of Arabia. All men and women dream, but wake up in the middle of the night, in the darkness of the recesses of the night, to say, oh, it was only a dream. But dangerous are the men and women, T. Lawrence goes on to say, are those who dream during the day with their eyes open, because they make their dreams come true. Dream, imagination is with the mind, but it comes true from the consciousness. Something happens, which you say goal setting, which you say, I know where I'm going. And that, nature has drawn two lines. All these animals, insects, and the plants, etc., living within those two lines. You know what? You and I are Purnam. We do not have the upper line. We have a beginning. We are born. But it continues to rise like that oak wood tree. Another beautiful poem I shared with you sometime. The storm clouds have gone. Rains and thunder showers are no more. The mountain I sit till the mountain alone remains. Just reflect on it. It's so peaceful. When you close your eyes, just like you remove your slipper outside the temple or a church you don't, temples you do, mosque you do, when you go in, just like that, when you sit for meditation, remove your name, form, function, your identity, husband, son, wife, mother, daughter. Remove that identity and sit still. Only I am the light. Sukham Charan. Happy journey. Jai Guru.